Neoliberalism is a terminal disease, and the UK's got it bad. Privatising so many industries is the start of how the UK has got into the mess it's currently in. I know they didn't run well when the UK government owned them, but they had the option to fix them. Governments could do the one thing they're elected by the people to do: make the country better. A fundamental problem is that neoliberals or Thatcherites bought up everything, that being the country's infrastructure or housing, and they're just flatly refusing to give them back. And to me, it's not shocking that the UK's so exposed to things like inflation spikes. The government actually has no way of controlling the price of things that everyday people buy. Energy, private market. Water, private market. Rental prices, private market. Infrastructure building, private market. Which frankly is why I get so frustrated with the state pension in this country. All the old people already have all the assets. But now let's take even more money from young people and give it to the old people in the form of the state pension. And now what can governments actually do? Yell at millionaire CEOs and select committees? Berate companies in the Houses of Parliament, but that they have no real power over? Half of the parties in Parliament are lobbied by the companies doing the most damage to the country. Why that's allowed, I don't know. It's just legalised bribery. But this is also what neoliberalism was designed to do. It's prioritise the needs of the few and allow private companies endless power. How anybody thought it was okay to use housing as a commodity for profit, I don't know. But that's the real housing crisis, just how bloody expensive it is. And that's because Thatcher sold off all the social housing. Most people actually don't mind renting, but the issue is just how expensive it is. And neoliberals should have let the banks fail in 2008. That's literally what the free market they love so much should do. But instead of that, they bailed them out, which made them too big to fail, which to me makes them oligarchs. So you create a world where private companies control the country and not the government, which frankly was so exposed to the world during the pandemic. If you let people dominate a market, they own part of the country. Which means you can look at immigration, for example, from a capitalist point of view and a moral point of view. Immigration equals cheap labour that makes money in the short term, and the morality is it gives somebody hope and a chance for better life. But the economics and the morality both take advantage of the country, and eventually dilute the reason that somebody would come in the first place. Capitalism is great, unregulated capitalism is not. And I'm not being balanced here. If you don't regulate capitalism, dark shit happens. Like those slum cities in India that have turned into the world's ship scrapyards. People die regularly. The pollution is catastrophic and the pay is negligible. And that's the end point of neoliberalism. You will always find somebody to do the job cheaper. And that's how you get mass immigration and managed decline. You dilute the resources until there's total collapse. And globalisation actually allows rich Western countries to prey upon those poorer developing countries, because they have more disposable populations. It's why Apple make all their products in China and India. It's why when Apple found out that people were jumping off the roof in their factory in China, because the working conditions were so appalling, they put up netting to catch them, rather than paying them more money or fixing their working conditions. Because ultimately that's what neoliberalism is. Fix a problem without caring about the consequences.